Most of the time when you hire a new CEO, new executive, they kind of slow play their ideas, their strategies to be able to extend their lifespan to say, look, I did something good. First quarter, second quarter, first year, second year, third year. They don't come out the gates wanting to execute and start doing things day one. Unless if you hire President Trump. Day one, here's a chart. Guy gets hired. He's up in the morning, hasn't slept for God knows how long. On January 20th, swears in, boom, gone. We're in the room at Capital One Arena. He's signing executive orders. And here's an article showing how he ranks compared to Biden, previous administration, Trump, 2016, to Obama, to Bush. Here's what it looks like. On day one, President Trump signed 26 executive orders compared to Biden's 9, compared to Trump 2017, 1, compared to Obama 2013, 0, compared to Obama 2009, 2, Bush, day one, 0. There was no executive orders on day one, meaning Trump did nearly 3 times more executive orders on day one than they did combined on day one. That's Trump. By the way, while I'm sitting with him, I'm going to go through a lot of these executive orders and what they mean and what the numbers look like with other people, what they've done over the years collectively as presidents. But I asked him a question when he was sitting here in the podcast. I said, Mr. President, there's a lot of people that are wondering who's the most powerful people in the world. Is it the billionaires? Is it the richest man in the world? Is it, the virtual governments, the leaders of Facebook, YouTube, Google, all these other companies? Is it the deep state? Is it the director of FBI, director of CIA? Is the people that are going to stay there for a while? Is the speaker? Who is the most powerful person in the world? And he said, without any hesitation, I don't want to take the words out of his mouth, this is what he said.
The most powerful person by far, the president. Power over everybody.
And he's already proven it in less than a week that maybe he was right. The most powerful person in the world during this 4 years is the right who knows how to execute the right policies. We're going to talk about that today. If you give value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I have all the executive orders, some more powerful than others. Couple of them, people are shivering. Literally, people are shivering, hoping he doesn't do it. By the way, I believe the reason why he's able to impose the way he is because of 6 reasons. I'll give that to you at the end. But let me start off with some very interesting. Out of all the things that you got, you choose to talk about this. Watch this here. If you go to whitehouse.gov, you'll see one of the presidential actions being promoting beautiful federal civic architecture. Promoting beautiful civic architecture? Why do you care about buildings? We have all these other things to deal with. Winston Churchill, the great Winston Churchill, once said, "We shape our buildings, thereafter they shape us." He wants to make our federal buildings nice at his standard, with his background, real estate. Let me read this to you. I hereby direct the administrator of the General Services Administration, in consultation with the Assistant to the President for Domestic Policy and the heads of departments and agencies of the U.S. where necessary, to submit to me within 60 days recommendations to advance the policy that federal public buildings should be visually identifiable as civic buildings and respect regional, traditional, and classical architectural heritage in order to what? And beautify. And beautify. Can you see him using that word? I can. And beautify public spaces and ennoble the United States and our system of self-government. You want to beautify buildings? The guy wants to beautify buildings. Tell me you don't love that. Do you not want to have people come here and they're going to DC and they're like, oh my God, look at all these buildings. A certain standard. Stop building these cheap government buildings. Let's build some buildings up to standard. So when people come from around the world, they say, oh my God, look where I'm at. So that's not even an executive order. That's a presidential action that he took. Now, let me read you some of the executive orders. You ready? You ready? These are all 6 executive orders under immigration. Number 1, National Emergency Act regarding the crisis of the southern border of the United States. Number 2, suspend the physical entry of aliens engaged in an invasion of the United States. Number 3, protecting the United States from foreign terrorists. Number 4, securing southern borders. Number 5, protecting the meaning and value of American citizenship. Number 6, realigning the United States refugee admissions program. By the way, these are all things that President Biden could have done like this and never did in 4 years. Every time we're going to fix the border, we're going to fix it. He did all of this in 1 day. On the 20th. Biden could have done this for 4 years. Kamala could have done this for 4 years. Maybe that's why they're not presidents today. Number 2, energy and environment. Declaring national energy emergency. Number 3, putting America first in international environmental agreements. Again, this is drill, baby, drill, That's part of it. 3 executive orders on the energy and environments. Number 3, crime. Designation of Ansar Allah as a terrorist organization. Next one, designating cartels and other organizations as foreign terrorist organizations, restoring the death penalty, and protecting public safety. And last but not least, under crime, holding former government officials accountable for election interference. Oh my God. Can you imagine you actually did that? And you're sitting and said, this guy's never going to get back in the White House again. Holy shit, what do we do now? 4th, economy. Reevaluating United States foreign aid. Where's money going to? World Economic Forum, we're giving you $350 per year, $500 million per year. That's done. Why are we only giving you $500 million? China's giving you $39 million. They got 1.5 billion people. We got 340. They should be given 5 times as much as we're giving. Why are we doing that? Common sense. The average person is like, I didn't know that. That makes sense. Exactly. Any other president could have done that, but he did it. Next, governmental changes. Reforming the federal hirings process and restoring merit to government services. He says everybody's got to come to the office, whether you like it or not. Goes and fires 1,000, hires 1,300, record-breaking on day one. Restoring names that honor American greatness. Mount McKinley, we changed the name to Denali. Why did we change the name to Denali? It's back to Mount McKinley. That's who the mountain was named after. Let's go back to it. That's what he did. Ending radical and wasteful government DEI programs and preferencing. He says there's 2 genders, male and female. That's it. No discussion. The X, gone. The BLM flags on federal buildings and offices, gone. The pride flag, gone. All of that stuff. You want to put up American flag? Go for it. All the other stuff, out. Next, defending women from gender ideology, extremism, and restoring biological truth to the federal government. Next one is establishing DOGE, the Department of Governmental Efficiencies. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs because we're getting more efficient. Wasteful spending, gone. America First Policy Directive to the Secretary of State, unleashing Alaska's extraordinary resource potential. Next one, clarifying the military's role in protecting the territorial integrity of the U.S. Next, restoring accountability to policy influencing positions within the federal workforce. Next, withdrawing the United States from the World Health Organization. They were not too happy about that. Tedros was not happy. Next one, application of protecting Americans from foreign adversary-controlled applications such as what? TikTok. Hey, it's got to be owned here by the U.S. He starts saying, maybe we own half, maybe you own half. Without the permit, it's worth nothing. With it, could be worth $1 trillion. But what if we don't give you the permit? You got 75 days to figure it out. I'm okay if Larry Ellison and Elon buys it. He's just negotiating, telling them TikTok's got to be here. It'll be interesting what happens there. Ending the weaponization of the federal governments, restoring freedom of speech, and ending federal censorship. And last but not least on this list is initial rescissions of harmful executive orders and actions. This is a lot of the stuff that Biden is like, no, we're out of here. We're doing something else. By the way, I can read more presidential actions, what he's done with technology. He's releasing the John F. Kennedy assassination records from the CIA in 15 days. He said that yesterday. The RFK and MLK Jr. says you guys got 45 days to release it all. Do you think former CIA agents are happy about that? By the way, if he releases this, I'm still not convinced we're going to get 100% of it. I'm hoping it's not going to be, oh, it was really Iran. Oh, it was really this person. And we don't say CIA, us, or Mossad, or whoever is going to be that was a part of it at that time. If we don't release something like that, people are going to be reacting in a different way. But if it's kind of like, holy they're officially saying it was Lyndon Johnson. They're officially saying it was what? If it's like that, the trust in the U.S. government is going to skyrocket under President Trump. So I'm still a little skeptical to see what's going to be dropped on this one here. But there's so many things you can read about on what they're doing. The tariff, the threat on Canada, 10% February 1st. The 25% he's talking about on imports with Mexico. The Paris climate exchange he's out. The number of pardons he gave to J6, to pardoning Russ Ulbricht from Silk Road. While all this stuff is going on, he's giving speeches, he's doing interviews. He goes to World Economic Forum to give the speech and calls out the B of A CEOs to his face. He says, hey, you guys go out there and you're not accepting conservative as clients, or you're not taking care of them. You cannot be doing that moving forward. And then he says, Jamie Dimon, and I get a call from a pilot that works with a very big airline talking about the fact that every time we land planes in Europe, the fees are so high, the fines are so high. What is that all about? You cannot be doing that moving forward. Called everybody out. World Economic Forum. And you know what it is while I'm shooting this? Today is January 24th, Friday, 11:15. Okay? He just became president Monday at 12:30, whatever time you want to put it. Tuesday, 12:30 is 1 day. Wednesday, 12:30 is 2 days. Thursday, 12:30 is 3 days. It's Friday. It's not even 4 days yet. He's done all of this up in 4 days. This is more than a president would do in a year. He did in 4 days. By the way, 6 reasons why he's winning and doing what he's doing. Number 1, he has moral authority. When people saw what he did after he got shot and he stood up and came back up, didn't flinch, he gained respect from everybody. Same day, Elon Zuckerberg said, that's the badass moment. That's the most badass moment. Everybody said, holy shit, you got to tip your hat. Even the enemies are like, dang, what are we going to do with this, right? Number two, he's calling out everyone, but he's doing it in a respectful way. But he's calling it out. He's not hesitating. Number three, he learned from 2016 to 2020 the amount of games they played, and he knows where all the bodies are buried this time around. He knows who this guy's all about. He knows that guy will flip. He knows that guy's a traitor. He knows that guy's bot. He knows everyone's drama because everyone's talking shit to him about each other. When you're Trump and everyone's trying to favor you, this person talks shit about this guy, then this guy comes and talks shit about that guy, then that guy comes talk shit about this guy. And in your mind, what inventory do you have? You have everybody's inventory of everybody. He now has that here, and he knows how to move and leverage and do all that other stuff that he's doing. And last but not least, he's got the trifecta right now. You know what trifecta is? When you fear somebody, they fear him. When you respect somebody, they respect him. And somehow, some way, he is more likable and loved today than ever before, even by his enemies. Respected, liked, and loved. When you have that trifecta and you're coming from a place of pure common sense and logic, and everything's about making your country a better place, and everyone knows that, things get done and people line up to work with you because they trust you. He has a very unique flow going on right now I've never seen before with a president. And we'll give more updates on these executive orders, but this is what we have first 4 days of him being a president. If you got value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you never watched the interview with President Trump, the things we talked about, click over here to watch the interview because we talked a lot about this stuff here. Take care, everybody. God bless. Bye-bye.